Should you use grammar books to study English? That's a question that I'll be answering tonight. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. First of all, as usual, thank you so much for joining me on another English lesson. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing because from Monday to Friday, I post different kinds of English lessons, to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. So consider subscribing. Anyways, my friends, tonight it's going to be a short and very objective video. I got this question quite a few times this week, and I decided to make this video to explain if you should or should not use a grammar book to learn English. And the answer is yes and no. Guys, I believe that balance is key. Okay, I think that if you balance the things you do in English, you will become a successful English speaker. Now, I also like to emphasize that to know whether having an English book will be good for you, well, more specifically, a grammar book will be good for you or not, we need to take into account your type of learning channel, okay? How do you learn information? And I have some videos here on my channel where I explore the subject, where I talk a little bit more about the importance of understanding your learning style. That being said, I will share with you my personal opinion and professional opinion as I have been teaching students from all over the world, and I noticed that there's a pattern, okay? I feel that having a grammar book can be very helpful, very useful, okay? If you know how to use it, okay? If you don't know how to use it, if you use the book as the way to help you master English, then it's not going to help you. Okay, if you do one lesson per day, I'm gonna do one lesson per day and that's it, it's not going to help you. Okay, that's not how you should be using a grammar book at all. How is the book going to help you? It is going to support your studies, okay? So every week, let's say, let me explain how I do this in English and in Italian. I'm studying Italian right now, and I'm always studying English, so that's what I do for both languages. I always define the subject of the week. What am I going to be studying this week? What kind of subjects am I studying this week? And based on what I am studying, I define some kind of lesson that I have to study. Okay, now if you don't know how to do this, you can get other kinds of books and materials that can guide you and show you what you need to do. Then throughout the week, I start to pay attention to what kind of things I'm having more problems with, okay? Because remember, I am at a different level, so I am studying different kinds of lessons. So depending on the material I have contact with, depending on the text I read or on the podcast I listened to, I focus on the grammar point that I see more often in those materials. And that's how I study. Then my next move is I Google some videos. In English, I don't, okay? To be completely honest, because of my level, I don't really go on YouTube and type videos to teach me the grammar because I can learn by myself, so I use the books, okay? But for Italian, for example, and in the past I did this for English, I would go on YouTube and I would find a video talking about that grammar point. After watching the grammar lesson, then I would go to the grammar book and I would do some exercises. I would read some additional explanations. I would take notes on some exceptions, on some rules. And then I would do the exercise. And after that, as soon as I'm finished, I create my examples. I really try to put into practice the grammar that I am studying. Okay? So if you pay attention, I don't start with the grammar lesson. What I'm trying to say is I don't just focus on the grammar. The grammar is helping me understand a subject. Now, in Italian, I do start with the grammar, but I don't focus all my attention on the grammar. I watch a lesson or two about the subject, I take some notes, then I move on. I move on to some articles. I move on to some articles texts, okay? I move on to some texts. I move on to some audios I can listen. And then I focus on the grammar that I am learning. So right now I'm learning simple past, a different kind of past, because there are so many past tenses in Italian. So right now I'm trying to find texts and audios that have more past, that talk more about the past, because this will help me understand the grammar lessons that I watched and the grammar lessons that I studied. But do I use the grammar book every day? No, it's not necessary, because it's supporting my journey. It's not the main goal, okay? So if your routine is only based on a grammar book, then you have a problem. It's not going to help you. You can use the grammar book to support your study routine, to help you better understand texts, to help you better understand audios you listen, to help you better understand movies you watch. That's how you connect grammar with real life. And always making sure that you don't stop at answering exercises, because grammar books, they're really good at this. They give you an explanation, and then they ask some questions, and then that's it. I don't stop there. I do the lesson, I read the explanations, I take notes, and when I finish the exercises, I actually create my examples. I create my own examples, because you only learn something when you use it. And unfortunately, the grammar book doesn't allow you to use the grammar in your life. You are only answering random questions, okay? What I'm trying to say here in this lesson is grammar books can be very interesting if you use it as a tool. It's not going to be the solution to your problems. On the other hand, I'm not in favor of saying that grammar is not important, that you shouldn't do anything, that you shouldn't study. I am in favor of combining the grammar with the subjects you are studying. That's why I'm always here on my channel talking about how to organize your study routine, how to organize your time throughout the week, what kind of things you should be studying. And I always emphasize the importance of studying reading, listening, writing, vocabulary, and grammar. And together, these skills will help you better express yourself in English, okay? And grammar is one part of the game. Okay, so at the end of the day, what I do is I use the grammar to help me during my study. So I always define the subject. What am I going to focus on? Am I focusing on talking about plans, future plans? Okay, so I'm going to be watching a lot of YouTubers talking about plans in English, not teaching, but talking about plans, their plans. I'm going to read texts about planning your life, the importance of planning your life. I will watch some videos about grammar, teaching me how to make plans in English or in another language. Then I can do some exercises. They will help, but that's not the goal. That's not the center of the universe. They will only help you better prepare yourself. And as soon as I finish watching the lesson, I don't stop there. I take notes. I write some of the explanations, some of the rules that I remember. And then once I'm done, I do some exercises in the grammar books, and I apply them. I put them into practice. Another thing that I never do and I never recommend my students to do is, you bought a grammar book, there are 200 lessons. You don't need to start in lesson 1. Remember, it's a tool. It's going to help you. So if you are studying conditionals, go to the conditional lessons, okay, my friend? If you are having problems with simple past, go to the simple past lessons. That's how I use the book. I don't stay on one page and then I go to the next, and then I don't follow the order of the book. I use it to check, I check the lessons that I need. I checked based on the subjects that I decided to study for that week. And that's how I use the grammar book to help me throughout my week, throughout my study practice, okay? At the end of the day, guys, Grammar books are very important if you know how to use them. If you feel very confused and you have no idea how to use it, then I don't recommend you start there. I recommend you find books that will inspire you to read something, listen to something, and write a little bit about it, study the vocabulary, and the grammar will be something that will help you talk about that subject. Not just help you learn a grammar lesson. Okay, many students misunderstand this. They study a grammar lesson, but they don't use it. They don't find something to connect that grammar with. Okay, so that's my main message for you guys tonight. Other than that, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Make sure to hit the like button and let me know if you use a grammar book. What grammar book do you use? What do you think of grammar books? Do you think they are interesting? Do you think they are not a good idea? I would love to know. I would love to have this discussion with you guys here in the comments. Other than that, have a lovely weekend and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.